seed in the Western Conference playoffs in a first-round game against number 2 Houston Rockets. The Warriors won 3 of the 5 matchups against the Rockets this season, with all 5 games being decided by a combined 8 points. This will be the 5th meeting between the teams in the playoffs, with the Warriors having won each of the previous 4 series. The Warriors are favored at -200 to beat the Rockets in the first round. Stephen A., starting with you here. Should Golden State be clear favorites over Houston?
No. I wouldn't say clear favorites at all. Houston has the home court advantage. Houston is the younger team, more spry, got a lot of athletes. They got size. They're big time defensively when they want to amp it up. And they're significantly better at rebounding the basketball, which is going to grasp additional opportunities for their offense, and it's going to limit what Golden State does if they're missing shots. So I don't think that it's a clear favorite by any stretch of the imagination. I could easily see this being a 7-game series back in Houston, as far as I'm concerned, and us finding out whether or not Jalen Green and those brothers are up for it. But I know Ime Udoka is ready, and I think that they've got the talent, the depth, the defense, the size, the rebounding prowess to make this a very, very interesting series. They can beat the Golden State Warriors. I just think that Golden State should be the favorites, but not clear cut.
Yeah, -200 is ridiculous. I agree with Steve 100%, but I'll tell you, bet against Curry at your own risk. The Vegas is not stupid. The American sports fan, and I'll include myself there, I'm not betting against Curry against the Houston Rockets. You want to tell me I bet him against Luka? Fair. You want me to tell him I bet against him if they played the Clippers or the Nuggets? Fair. But I'm not betting him against Houston. And I'll tell you right. Think about this for a second. 2 best players on the court when this series begins play on what team? They play on Golden State. They have the 2 best players. So if you bet Houston, you on home court doesn't mean anything. It's not like Houston is some snake pit. He has won games on the road his whole career. He won an NBA championship in Boston. 2 years ago, he won Game 7 in Sacramento, which is a huge rivalry. This isn't. He's won big games. He won a Game 7 in Houston a long time ago with Durant. There is no way that I am betting against Curry in this series when he's got Butler sitting there. He's got a team that he's up against that's very inexperienced. Everybody knows they have potential. They got a lot of nice pieces, and he's a big coach. Nobody's arguing that. But that's Kerr. Kerr's no slouch. He knows what he's doing. Houston's going to use this as motivation. Hey, guys, the world doesn't think we can be competitive. We're the 2 seed. Let's show them. They use that, and that will help them. But in push comes to shove, you find me a basketball fan in America who likes to bet, who's going to sit there and say, you know what, I'll bet the Rockets. No way. You can't bet against Curry and Butler in this series. Now, listen, it might be a 7-game series. It might go down to the 4th quarter in Game 7. 108, 6 minutes left, Game 7. You're going to bet on Curry or Butler, or you're going to bet on Houston? I'm betting Golden State. I'll take them. It may be in 7 games. Wendy?
I feel like Amen Thompson is going to become a much bigger, higher known name in the next 2 weeks, because that's the guy who the Rockets are going to put on Steph Curry when it matters.
110 shooting.
And this guy is the NBA athletes, the guys who play in the NBA are top 1% athletes. Amen Thompson is the top 1% of the 1%.
There you go.
This guy is an absolute freakazoid athlete, and he is relentless defensively. That is going to be a big part of this series, is the Amen Thompson on Steph Curry matchup. I also think that the Rockets have really good depth. They've built out this team through the draft. You are correct, Mad Dog, that the top 2, if you were drafting a team, you would take probably Steph and Butler as the 2 first guys. I agree. And typically when you're evaluating a series, when that's the case, if a team's got the top 2 or 3 of the top 5, you're going to lean towards that team, which is probably one of the reasons why the Warriors are the favorites here. But the Rockets have built this team out through the draft and through free agency and through trade. They have prepared to win a playoff series with their wing depth. So I respect the Rockets a lot. I will tell you this. If you're a Rockets fan, you've watched Steph come in there and kill your season repeatedly. Those Chris Paul, James Harden teams, they went in there and dominated. These players don't have that baggage, so they won't feel quite the same way. But Steph will walk into that building knowing he's ended series there. So I respect the Rockets a lot. I think this is a toss-up series, especially because the Rockets do have home court.
Mad Dog, I just want to push back on something you really said quickly, because you said the Warriors are clear-cut favorites, but in the same breath, that this could go 7 games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to show Houston some respect. But again, here's what I would say,
but
Wendy.
if it's 7 games, how
Well,
are you
that's
clear
fair. I guess so. You know what? To be fair, I said 7 because Steve said 7. I'll say Golden State in 6.
Okay.
I'll say they'd be up 3 games to 2. And Wendy, I'll tell you right now, if you think it's a toss-up series, put $100 on Houston because you're getting them at plus 200, and they're at home in the 7th game. Toss-up means 7th game. And if you get a chance to have a 7-game series and it's 2 for 1, and you got the 7th game at home, take them. You got nothing to lose.
I will
if
say
that's how you
something
feel
that's
about
interesting has happened in the NBA in the last decade. For decades, Game 7s, home team always won. It was some super high, like
That's changed.
high 80.
Yeah.
For some reason, for various reasons, but it has changed. So as everybody's evaluating these playoff series, I actually almost think that for a young team, starting a series at home, in the comfort of home, is as important as potentially having Game 7, at home. And Houston, gets to start at home too. That's going to be key, I think.
Well, you brought up Amen Thompson. Last time, he saw Steph Curry. 1 for 10 shooting for Steph Curry. 1 for 10. And the vast majority of the time was spent with him guarding Steph Curry. Amen Thompson is a future star in this league, y'all. This brother can ball. And I mean, he is tenacious and hard-nosed as they come. In just the 2nd year, special. Absolutely special.
We'll certainly have our eye on him, guys. I want to keep it pushing here. There's 3 teams left for the final 8th seed spot in the East. The Magic beat the Hawks last night to clinch the 7th seed, while the Heat and Bulls face off tonight. The winner will face Atlanta for the final playoff spot and a date with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, Mad Dog, will Boston and Cleveland play a Game 7 before the Eastern Conference Finals?
No, they will not. The NBA Eastern Conference. Now, the Knicks-Pistons series could be interesting because, the Pistons, young team, rugged. They beat the Knicks 3 out of 4. That will be in Madison Square Garden. That will add some element to it. But if you are an NBA fan, watch the West. The East, you're going to go to sleep. Orlando's not challenging Boston. The 8th seed's not challenging Cleveland. Milwaukee, Indiana, competitive, but who knows on Lillard's health. I'll see you in a conference final. When Boston plays Cleveland, that's when we're going to start paying attention. So I don't think Boston's going to go near even a Game 6, and I don't think Cleveland's going near a Game 7. You want to tell me Indiana, Game 6, maybe? But I think those two will not, under any circumstances, be threatened before they play each other in a month. That would be my take.
Stephen A.?
I ain't going out on my Knicks like that. I ain't going out on my Knicks like that. I think the New York Knicks are going to play 14 playoff games this postseason.
I mean,
it's going to take them 7. It's going to take them 7 to take out Detroit. And they're going to push the Boston Celtics to 7 games. I can pray, damn it. I can pray. I'm allowed to hope. I have not. Now, here's the sad part, Doggy, Wendy. I have no basketball reason whatsoever to believe that they're going to push the Boston Celtics to 7 games. I just don't see it. I mean, Jaylen Brown, he's been getting shots in his knee or whatever. That's what they've been reporting. So his health might be compromised. All right, that could potentially help the Knicks. The Knicks don't have the health concerns. Jalen Brunson was out. So because he was out for more than a month or whatever, that's some rest right there, okay? And Jalen Brunson's going to show up. Karl Anthony Towns could put up some